The Zarnathi armada descended like a swarm of locusts, their jagged black warships blotting out the sun over Earth's trembling surface. To the galaxy's most feared warlords, this planet was just another speck of dust to crush, a primitive world of weak, squabbling humans. Or so they thought. Commander Krell, his exoskeleton bristling with trophies from conquered worlds, sneered at the data feeds. "No weapons, no armies, just lights," he growled, pointing at the glowing cities below. "They're begging for mercy." His second-in-command, Vexa, frowned. But the scouts reported something called a guardian. Krell laughed, a sound like grinding rocks. "A myth. A ghost story. This will take minutes." He ordered the fleet to land. As the Zarnathi ships pierced Earth's atmosphere, the sky above the capital city split open. Not with explosions or lasers, but with light. Blinding, golden, and hot enough to melt steel. A roar shook the ground, deeper than thunder, louder than any engine. The Zarnathi ships wobbled, sensors overloaded. Then it emerged, a mountain of molten stone and crackling energy, towering over the city like a god. Its body pulsed with glowing veins, and its eyes, two burning suns, locked onto the invaders. "The Guardian." Krell's voice cracked. "Target it. Fire everything." Lasers lanced from the Zarnathi ships, incinerating buildings, melting roads. Missiles streaked toward the creature, trailing fire. But the Guardian didn't flinch. It raised one massive arm, and the beams vanished, swallowed by a shimmering aura around its body. The missiles detonated mid-air, harmless bursts of light. "What? What is this?" Vexa shouted. The Guardian stepped forward. With every footfall, the earth trembled. It swung its arm and a Zarnathi fighter jet exploded like a firecracker. Another swing and a warship flipped sideways, crashing into a forest in a storm of flames. The Guardian roared again, and the shockwave shattered windows for miles. But it wasn't just the creature's power that froze the Zarnathi in terror. It was the humans. Below, civilians stood in the streets, not running, not screaming. They watched, faces lit with awe. A woman held a child aloft, pointing at the sky. A group of teenagers cheered, filming with shaky cameras. Soldiers stood, shoulder to shoulder with the creature, not against it. One even waved at the Zarnathi ships, grinning. "They're happy," Vexa whispered. "They're not afraid." Krell's claws dug into his command throne. "Nonsense, they're prey. Prey doesn't smile when it's being hunted." The Guardian proved him wrong. It leapt, not with the clumsy crash of stone, but with a grace that defied physics, and landed on a Zarnathi destroyer. The ship crumpled like paper. The Guardian tore through the hull with its fists, hurling chunks of metal into the air. Survivors ejected in escape pods only for the creature to bat them aside like baseballs. Vexa stared at the carnage. Their tech, their courage, it's not possible. But the worst was yet to come. The Guardian raised both arms. The sky darkened. Clouds spiraled above it and a deafening hum filled the air. Then from the clouds, something else fell. A rain of asteroids. The Zarnathi ships burned as rocks the size of houses smashed into them. One struck Krell's flagship, knocking out engines. Alarms blared. The crew scrambled. Through the viewport, Krell saw the Guardian standing atop a skyscraper, arms wide, protecting the humans below. "This is not a species," Vexa said, her voice trembling. "This is a hive mind, a weapon disguised as a planet," Krell spat. "No, they're different. They made that thing love them." A new feed flickered on the command screen, footage from a scout drone hidden in the city. It showed the Guardian years earlier, wounded, bleeding lava-like blood surrounded by humans. A child approached it holding out a sandwich. The Guardian recoiled, but the child didn't run. He smiled. The video cut to the present. The Guardian roared, and the humans cheered. "They fed it," Vexa whispered. "They taught it their language, their emotions." Krell's stomach churned. Love, empathy, concepts his species had purged millennia ago. And yet, here it was, weaponized. "Retreat," he barked. "Full withdrawal." Vexa hesitated. "But the orders—" "Do you want to die?" Krell screamed. "That thing isn't a monster. It's a parent protecting its young." The Zarnathi fleet limped away, trailing smoke and wreckage. The Guardian watched them go, then turned to the humans. It knelt, letting children climb onto its rocky shoulders. A woman hugged its massive toe. Someone handed it a sandwich. Back, on the flagship, Krell stared at the retreating blue planet. "Mark this place," he hissed. "Earth. We never return." Vexa nodded. "And if others try," Krell growled, "they'll meet the Guardian, and they'll learn what real power is." The Guardian wasn't always a protector. Once it was a creature of rage and ruin, a storm given form. Its name, if it had one, was lost in the void. The humans called it Vorath, a word from old myths meaning scourge, and for good reason. It arrived on Earth like a falling star, crashing into the jagged peaks of the Sierra Madre Mountains. The impact split the Earth, melted rock into rivers, and shook towns miles away. For days, smoke choked the skies. Then from the crater it emerged. Vorath stood 30 feet tall, its body a patchwork of obsidian-like stone and glowing fissures that pulsed like veins. Its arms ended in claws longer than spears, and its face, a grotesque mask of molten jaws, and burning eyes seemed carved from nightmares. It roared, a sound that cracked trees and sent animals fleeing. The ground trembled with every step. The world reacted as it always did to the unknown, with fear. Military helicopters circled the crater. Jets dropped bombs, tanks rolled in, their cannons aimed at the creature's chest. But Vorath didn't attack. It collapsed, its body shuddering as lava-like blood seeped from a gash in its side. It howled, not with anger, but with pain. Dr. Ilara Voss was the first to notice. A xenobiologist with a reputation for recklessness, she'd been studying extremophiles in the mountains when the crash happened. While soldiers debated tactics, she watched Vorath through her binoculars. "It's not attacking," she muttered. "It's hurting." Ignoring orders, Ilara slipped past the military lines. She approached the crater, hands raised, heart pounding. Vorath's golden eyes locked onto her. It growled, low and guttural. Ilara stopped 10 feet away. "You're hurt," she said softly. "Let me help." The creature recoiled. It raised a claw, but froze. Ilara's calmness confused it. Slowly, she knelt, pulling a medkit from her bag. She dabbed at its wounds with a salve of crushed herbs and synthetic gel. Vorath flinched, then sighed. The moment changed everything. The free child who defied fear. While scientists argued and governments panicked, a boy named Leo Marquez made the choice they couldn't. He was 12 years old, with a mop of curly hair and a stubborn grin. His family's farm bordered the forest near the crater. When Leo saw Vorath from his bedroom window, he didn't scream. Heron, his parents begged him to stay. The townsfolk called him reckless, but Leo reached the crater before dawn, clutching a paper bag. Vorath lay curled, its breathing ragged. Ilara stood nearby, arguing with a soldier over a radio. "Hey," Leo said, waving. "I brought you a sandwich." Vorath's eyes flickered open. It snarled instinctively, but Leo didn't move. "It's turkey," he added, holding up the bag. "My mom says food helps when you're sad." Ilara gasped. "Leo, get back." But Vorath sat up. It sniffed the air, then reached out a trembling claw. Leo placed the sandwich in its palm. Vorath stared at it confused. Then carefully it bit into the bread. It spat it out immediately. Leo laughed. "Yeah, it's not great. Mom's better at pie." The creature tilted its head. It studied the boy, his open face, his steady hands. For the first time since landing, Vorath's growl softened. Learning to feel. Weeks passed. Against all odds, Vorath stayed. The government quarantined the area, but Leo visited daily, bringing books, music players, and toys. Vorath learned, slowly. It started with language. Leo taught it words, pointing at objects and repeating names. Tree, he said, tapping a pine. River, sky. Vorath mimicked the sounds, its voice rumbling like boulders in a landslide. Then came emotions. Leo showed Vorath photos of his family. This is my sister, he said. She makes me happy. He frowned. This is my uncle, he makes me mad. Vorath blinked. Happy is warm, it rumbled. Mad is fire. Ilara documented everything. It's not just mimicking, she told skeptical officials. It's feeling. It's connecting. But not everyone believed. The world divides. News spread. Some called Vorath a miracle, a chance to learn from an alien species. Others called it a threat. Conspiracy theorists claimed it was a spy. Militant groups demanded its destruction. Governments argued study it, exploit it, kill it. Then came the night of the ambush. A faction of rogue soldiers, fearing Vorath's power, attacked under cover of darkness. Plasma rounds tore into its chest. Vorath roared, shielding Leo, who'd been sleeping nearby. The soldiers fled, but the damage was done. Vorath fled too. Ilara found it days later, crouched in a cave, its wounds festering. Why? It asked, its voice trembling. They hurt me. Why? Ilara had no answer. But Leo did. He trekked into the mountains alone, armed only with a flashlight and a backpack. When he found Vorath, he didn't speak. He just sat beside it, leaning against its warm, cracked hide. After hours, he said, Not everyone's like me, or my mom, or Dr. Voss, but that doesn't mean you're bad. Vorath turned its glowing eyes to him. You are small, weak. Why care? Leo smiled. Because you're my friend. The creature's chest rumbled, not with anger, but with something new. A sound Ilara would later describe as a laugh. A new purpose. Vorath returned to the town. This time, it didn't wait for humans to act. It helped. When wildfires threatened the valley, Vorath stomped them out, dousing flames with slaps of its massive hands. When a mudslide buried a highway, Vorath dug through tons of debris, rescuing trapped drivers. It carried injured animals to Ilara's clinic, gently placing them on tables. The town changed. At first, people kept their distance, but as Vorath's deeds piled up, fear turned to awe. Children drew pictures of it. Farmers left baskets of fruit near its resting place. A sculptor carved a statue of Vorath shielding Leo, which now stands in the town square. But the world beyond the mountains remained divided. The rift grows. While the town embraced Vorath, governments plotted. Some wanted to weaponize it. Others wanted to dissect it. A secret memo leaked to the press read, Subject's energy core could revolutionize power sources. Containment is priority. Leo found the memo on his father's computer. He showed Vorath, tears in his eyes. They don't see you like we do. Vorath stood. Then I leave. No, Leo shouted. You can't. You're not a monster. The creature hesitated. Memories flashed. The sandwich, the laughter, the warmth of a campfire. It looked at Leo, no longer a boy, but a young man with fire in his voice. Then, what am I? Vorath asked. Leo grinned. A guardian. The word stuck. From that day forward, Vorath vowed to protect not just the town, but all of Earth. Not because it had to, because it chose to. And when the Zarnathi came, that choice became its weapon. Vorath stood atop a mountain, its molten eyes scanning the sunrise. Below, the town of Sierra Madre stirred awake, a place it had vowed to protect. For months, it had lived among humans, learning their ways, sharing their joys and sorrows. It carried injured animals to Ilara's clinic, shielded crops from storms, and even let children climb its rocky back. But not everyone saw it as a guardian. Some saw a weapon. The Shadow Council. In a secret bunker beneath Washington, a group of generals and politicians met. They called themselves the Shadow Council. Their mission: eliminate the Vorath threat. "This creature is a liability," growled General Rourke, a scarred veteran with a hatred for anything he couldn't control. "It's strong enough to flatten cities. What if it decides we're the enemy?" "But it hasn't," argued Dr. Patel, a scientist who'd studied Vorath. "It's shown restraint, compassion." Rourke slammed his fist on the table. "That thing isn't a pet, it's a bomb waiting to go off." The council voted. Operation Iron Chain was approved. The Ambush. One night, as Vorath slept in a valley, the attack began. Drones buzzed overhead, spraying a paralyzing gas. Missiles struck its sides, laced with nanotech designed to drain its energy. Vorath roared, thrashing as chains of pure magnetism erupted from hidden trenches wrapping around its limbs. "Containment field active," a technician shouted. Vorath's veins pulsed brighter, its body straining. The chains glowed red-hot. Then, snap. One link broke. Another. The creature bellowed, tearing free. But the worst blow came from behind. A sniper's beam pierced its shoulder. A shot meant to kill. Vorath spun, spotting the shooter. A soldier from the town it had protected. The man's face twisted with fear. "It's not real," he muttered, firing again. "It's not human." Vorath staggered, wounded, and confused. "Why?" it rumbled. I help." The soldier didn't answer. He kept shooting. Leo's stand. News of the attack spread fast. Leo, now 16, watched the footage on a shaky livestream. Vorath, bleeding lava, was cornered by tanks near the crater. His hands trembled. "They're trying to kill him," he whispered. Ilara grabbed her keys. "We're going." They raced to the valley, dodging military checkpoints. When they arrived, the scene was chaos. Vorath, half mad with pain, lashed out. A tank exploded. Soldiers fled. Leo leapt from the car. "Stop!" he screamed. Vorath froze mid-swing, its glowing eyes locked onto the boy. "Leo!" "You don't understand," Leo shouted, tears streaking his face. "They're scared, not of you, of what they don't know." He stepped closer, ignoring Ilara's warnings. "But we know you. You're not a monster. You're our friend." Vorath's claws trembled. Memories flashed. Leo's sandwich campfires, the statue in the town square. "Then why?" "Because fear is louder than truth," Ilara said softly, joining Leo. "But we're here. Let us fight for you." For a heartbeat, Vorath hesitated. Then it roared, not at the soldiers, but at the sky. The ground shook. A fissure opened beneath the tanks, swallowing them whole. Vorath turned and vanished into the mountains, leaving only scorched earth and stunned survivors. The rift deepens. The world exploded in debate. "Vorath is a danger," Rourke declared on global news. "It attacked our troops." "No," Ilara countered in a viral speech. "They attacked it. Vorath chose mercy. That's what makes it human." Protests erupted. Some demanded Vorath's destruction. Others marched with signs. "It's our family." Leo became a symbol. His story shared billions of times. But the Shadow Council wasn't done. The betrayal. Weeks later, Vorath returned to Sierra Madre. The town welcomed it with banners and music. Leo grinned, climbing onto its shoulder. "Welcome home." That night, Vorath slept peacefully, until the sky lit up. A fleet of stealth bombers roared overhead. Their target, the town. Ilara burst into Leo's house. "They're here to wipe us out," she yelled. Vorath awoke to screams. Bombs fell. Fire swallowed homes. A child ran screaming past its feet. Anger surged through its veins. Vorath leapt into the air, intercepting a bomb mid-flight. It exploded in its hands, ripping chunks from its arms. It didn't flinch. With a roar, it tore through the bombers like paper, sending flaming wreckage into the hills. Below, Leo rallied survivors. Get to the shelter, he shouted, dragging an old woman to safety. Ilara hacked into a military comms channel. Call them off. You'll kill innocents. Rourke's voice crackled back. Collateral damage. Vorath heard him. It landed in front of the town hall, shielding the crowd. Its body glowed white-hot. The ground split open, forming a dome of molten rock around the survivors. Bombs bounced off it harmlessly. When dawn broke, the bombers retreated. Vorath stood alone, its body scarred and smoking. The dome crumbled, revealing the town intact. Leo limped forward, clutching a burn on his arm. You saved us. Vorath knelt. I will never let harm come to you. Not from them. Not from anyone. A new dawn. The Shadow Council disbanded, in disgrace. Rourke was arrested. The president issued a formal apology. Vorath is not a threat. It is a hero. But Vorath didn't care about politics. It cared about the town. About Leo. One evening, as they sat on a hill, Leo asked, Why stay? After everything? Vorath gazed at the stars. You taught me love. It is warm. It paused. I stay because this is home. Leo smiled. Good, because we're not done yet. Above them, the sky rippled. A faint signal blinked in deep space, a warship's insignia. The Zarnathi were coming back. Vorath's eyes burned brighter. Let them come. The Zarnathi armada returned, twice as large, their black warships blotting out the sun like a swarm of locusts. Commander Krell stood on his flagship's bridge, staring at the blue planet below. They've had their warning, he growled. This time we burn them to ash. But Earth was ready. The call to arms. Leo stood atop a broadcast tower in Sierra Madre, his voice shaking as he spoke into a live feed. They're back, the Zarnathi. They want to destroy us. Behind him, Vorath loomed, its molten eyes scanning the sky. Ilara typed furiously on a laptop, linking the signal to every screen on the planet. Across the globe, people stopped what they were doing. Farmers in Kenya, engineers in Tokyo, children in Brazil, all watched Leo's face fill with determination. They think we're weak, but they're wrong. We've got Vorath, we've got each other, and we're not going down without a fight. The response was instant. In Dubai, a billionaire tech mogul activated a secret energy shield prototype. In Moscow, retired pilots scrambled into cockpits. In New York, teenagers hacked Zarnathi comms, flooding their systems with memes of Vorath flipping off alien ships. Even the UN voted unanimously. Earth fights as one. Vorath raised its arms, feeling the pulse of the planet beneath its feet. They trust me, it rumbled. I will not fail them. The first strike. The Zarnathi attacked at dawn. Plasma beams scorched cities, melting skyscrapers into rivers of glass. Fighter drones swarmed like hornets, targeting power grids and hospitals. But Earth had learned. Vorath leapt into the air, its body glowing white-hot. It slammed into a Zarnathi carrier, shattering its hull like an egg. Before the debris could fall, it caught a burning fighter jet mid-air and hurled it back at the fleet. Below, Ilara coordinated from a bunker. Tokyo, activate the shield, she barked into a radio. A shimmering dome erupted over the city, deflecting incoming missiles. Dubai, target their engines. Lasers from the desert lanced into space, crippling a dozen ships. Leo rode on Vorath's shoulder, clutching a handheld communicator. Sierra Madre's safe. What about Jakarta? Buenos Aires? Reports flooded in. Mumbai's holding. London's shields are cracked, but we're evacuating. Cairo needs help. Fast. Vorath roared. I will go. No, Ilara said. You can't be everywhere. A new voice crackled over the comms. We'll handle it. The unlikely allies. A ragtag fleet of human ships rose to meet the Zarnathi, cargo vessels retrofitted with lasers, experimental fighters, even a converted space tourist shuttle. At their head flew Captain Jaya Mehta, a former smuggler, turned hero. You wanted a fight, she snarled, launching a barrage of EMP mines. Let's dance. The battle turned chaotic. Zarnathi drones clashed with human pilots in a storm of fire and metal. Vorath tore through enemy lines, shielding civilians as they fled underground bunkers. Leo coordinated from the ground, directing survivors to safety. But the Zarnathi adapted. A massive warship descended, a mothership twice the size of a carrier. Its core pulsed with stolen energy, siphoned from dead planets. Krell's voice boomed over global channels. Your defiance amuses us. Now watch your world die. The mothership fired. A beam of pure antimatter streaked toward New York. Cities vaporized in its path. Vorath intercepted, slamming its body into the beam. The impact sent shockwaves across the continent. When the smoke cleared, Vorath knelt, its chest cracked, lava spilling like blood. Leo screamed. No! Vorath lifted its head. I am not done. The human edge. Ilara sprinted to Vorath's side, slapping a patch of synthetic gel onto its wound. You can't take another hit like that, she gasped. We need time, Leo said, to regroup. The Zarnathi mothership loomed. Krell sneered. Your pet bleeds. Your cities burn. Surrender, and we may spare a few. Leo grabbed the communicator. This is Leo Marquez. If you can hear me, anyone with a weapon, a drone, anything, target that mothership. Now. The response was chaos. Farmers in Argentina launched crop-dusting drones armed with Molotovs. Teenagers in Lagos hacked Zarnathi fuel lines, causing chain reactions in their fleet. A group of elderly engineers in Berlin rerouted power from abandoned nuclear plants, charging a planetary laser array. And then, Vorath stood. Its body glowed brighter than ever, cracks sealing as energy surged through its veins. It pointed at the mothership. They gave me this fight, it thundered. I finish it. The Guardian's wrath. Vorath launched itself skyward faster than before. Zarnathi turrets tracked it, but too late. It slammed into the mothership's core, fists pounding the energy chamber. Alarms blared. Krell roared, "Eject the core!" Too late. Vorath ripped the chamber free, cradling it like a star. It spun, hurling the core into the mothership's engine. The explosion tore the ship apart, sending shockwaves rippling across space. As Vorath fell, human ships caught it, lowering it gently to the ground. Leo ran to its side, tears streaming. You did it. Vorath's eyes dimmed. They will tell stories? Of course, Leo said. You're a legend. The Zarnathi fleet limped away, their command ship barely intact. Krell stared at Earth, hatred burning in his chest. This isn't over. Vexa, his second in command, gazed at the footage of Vorath shielding a child. No, she whispered. It's just beginning. Aftermath. The battle left scars, but Earth survived. Cities rebuilt. Survivors shared stories of courage. Leo and Ilara became symbols of hope. And Vorath? It vanished. Some say it sleeps beneath the ocean, healing. Others claim it watches from the stars, waiting for the next threat. But when rumors of alien ships spread, a single hologram flashes across the sky. Vorath's face, stern and unyielding. The galaxy now whispers of Earth's guardian, a beast who chose mercy over wrath, who turned a child's kindness into a shield for the stars. Not a monster, not a god, just family. The smoke had barely cleared when the survivors emerged. Cities smoldered but stood. The skies, once choked with alien warships, were empty now, save for the flicker of Vorath's molten footprints fading into the clouds. Earth had won, but the cost was etched into every scarred face and trembling hand. Leo Marquez stood atop a ruined bridge in Sierra Madre, staring at the horizon. His clothes were torn, his skin blistered, but his voice was steady as he spoke, into a cracked radio. It's over, he said. Vorath, he saved us. Ilara Voss limped beside him, her medical kit empty. She glanced at the sky, half expecting to see Vorath's massive form descending. But there was nothing. He's gone, she whispered. Again. The search for the Guardian. For weeks, the world hunted Vorath. Divers scoured the ocean trenches. Satellites scanned deserts and ice caps. Leo led a team into the Sierra Madre Mountains, retracing the paths where it had first walked. But there was no sign of the creature. Not a single glowing fissure in the rock, not a whisper of heat in the air. He's not hiding, Leo said one night sitting by a campfire. He's healing. Somewhere we can't reach. Ilara nodded. Or he's waiting. Above them, the stars twinkled cold and distant. Somewhere out there, the Zarnathi nursed their wounds, and other enemies lurked, older, hungrier. Vorath had fought one battle, but the universe was vast. A planet changed. Earth didn't return to normal. How could it? The battle had left. Craters the size of cities, forests reduced to ash, and millions homeless. Yet amid the ruins, something new grew. In Jakarta, survivors built a monument, a statue of Vorath shielding a child, its stone face softened into something almost gentle. In Nairobi, scientists used fragments of Zarnathi tech to create clean energy, ending power shortages. In New York, a group of teens launched a satellite network called the Guardian's Eyes, designed to track threats from space. Leo became a symbol, not of war, but of hope. He traveled the globe, telling Vorath's story, not as a myth, but as a lesson. Kindness isn't weakness, he'd say, standing before crowds. It's what turned a monster into a protector. It's what saved us. Ilara returned to her research, publishing papers on alien biology and interspecies empathy. Her work inspired a new generation of scientists and diplomats. We're not alone, she told a UN assembly, but we don't have to fear the unknown. We can choose trust. We can choose connection. The galaxy reacts. News of Earth's victory spread like wildfire. Across the stars, civilizations whispered the tale of a planet defended by a creature forged from love. Some called it propaganda. Others, a warning. On a war-torn moon, a rebel leader watched footage of Vorath tearing through Zarnathi ships. They have a god, he muttered. How do we fight that? On a trading hub near Saturn, an alien merchant chuckled. Nah, that thing's no god. It's a dog protecting its pack. And in the Zarnathi flagship, Commander Krell smashed his fist against a console. We underestimated them, he growled. Next time, we crush them before they find another guardian. But his second-in-command, Vexa, stared at a hologram of Vorath shielding a child. What if we're the monsters? She asked quietly. Krell spat. Monsters don't win wars. No, Vexa said, but families do. The return of the monster. Years passed. Earth rebuilt, stronger and stranger. Cities gleamed with alien alloys scavenged from wrecked Zarnathi ships. Children played games pretending to be Vorath, roaring and knocking down sandcastles. Life went on. Then one day the sky darkened again. A fleet of unknown origin breached the solar system. Sleek silver ships with no markings. Their weapons vaporized Mars's research stations in seconds. Earth braced for death. Leo stood on the White House lawn, staring at the newsfeed. Not again, he whispered. A shadow fell over him. He turned. There, standing atop a skyscraper, was Vorath. Its body was healed, glowing brighter than ever. Lava-like blood pulsed in its veins. It roared, a sound that shook the planet, and leapt into the sky. The battle was short. Vorath tore through the alien fleet like paper, its fists cracking hulls and its breath extinguishing engines. The invaders fled, their ships limping into the void. When it landed, the world held its breath. Leo stepped forward. You came back. Vorath knelt. You are still my family. I will always come back. The Guardian's legacy. Vorath didn't stay. It vanished again, leaving only a single rule carved into the moon's surface. Harm Earth and you face me. The message glowed for weeks, visible to every star-faring species. Some laughed, others trembled. Leo kept telling stories. Ilara trained a new generation of leaders. And Earth? Earth watched the stars, not with fear, but with quiet confidence, because they knew the truth. Vorath wasn't a weapon. It wasn't a god. It was proof that kindness could bend even the fiercest rage into love, that a child sandwich could disarm a monster, that a planet united could stand against the darkness, and when the next threat came, and it would, Earth would be ready, because the Guardian was watching, always.